Hello, getting lost in Italy one morning on a cold winter's day when I know no one taught me one of the biggest lessons about building connections. And today I'm going to share with you that encounter and what five girls that I had not known taught me about how you can spark that warmth of Italian hospitality right here at home. So it was winter and I wasn't on vacation. I was there to live the life. And I love going to Italy during the off season. So I was there and I was in this small town in Calabria and I wanted to see the cathedral. They have a beautiful, magnificent cathedral that I had read about that was built in the 1200s, and it is still there. And many of these are so magnificent. So I started out one morning it was early in the morning, and the church is closed again at noon, so I had to get there early to take a walk to find the church, or the cathedral rather. And the town was coming out. Everyone was doing what they needed to do in the morning, go to the bank, get the kids to school, all of these things. And everybody was walking. It wasn't a lot of traffic. So I was in the city square. So it didn't take me too long to figure out that I was walking in circles, or maybe I didn't know where I was going. And I wanted to ask for directions, but everybody seemed so busy and going about their day that I didn't want to disturb them. So I kept walking, but I felt a little bit overwhelmed by my own adventurous spirit, which sometimes gets me into trouble. And so I started looking around and making eye contact at people, and everyone, of course, knew each other, but they knew I wasn't a local person because I stood out, even though I am Italian, look Italian, was dressing Italian. They just knew because they know everyone in the community. So I slowed down and I started looking for someone that would make eye contact with me, hoping that I wasn't aggravating anyone to interrupt their morning. But I wasn't sure of who I was going to find. So finally, a group of girls came along that were probably walking to school. In fact, yes, I learned they were walking to school. And I said, Buongiorno, permesso, good day. Can I ask you something? And I asked them directions for the cathedral. So the girls were very gracious in giving me directions, and between their Italian and my Italian and their English and my English, we started talking about directions. But in Italy, if someone tells you, and if you've been there before, you know this, someone tells you it's a 5-minute walk. It's never a 5-minute walk. It's a 20-minute walk. And if they tell you it's straight, simple diritto, straight ahead, just keep walking. Except nothing is straight in Italy or in these small towns. Everything has a twist and a turn and a circle to go around. So I wasn't really sure of what they were telling me, but I was certainly willing to give it a try. They must have picked up on that, because then essentially they said, we will take you there. And I thought, oh, that's great. We can walk together, and I don't know how far it is, or hopefully they won't be late for school, but I was ready to take the offer. So we took off and we started walking, and they were asking me where I was from. I was asking them about school and if they've always lived in Calabria and what they're studying. We had great conversations. And before I knew it, we were at the cathedral, and they said, Eccola, here it is. So we were stood in front of this massive place, which was gorgeous. And yet during that time, we had made this human connection, and I know that Italians are better at it than Americans, but we made this connection where we just stood there and didn't know what to do next, because it was just time for them to go on their way and me to go on my way. And so all I could say was, let's take a selfie. And so we took a selfie picture, and it was myself and five girls, and the generational difference didn't even make a difference. So there are things that you can learn from this encounter that you could do yourself, and any of us can do, and I do it in the United States as well. So I'd like to just give you a couple of them because it's a great story, but if it means nothing for you or is not useful for you, it's only a story. But there are things you can do think about with that experience. And one is that there was a common interest there. I was looking for a cathedral, and they knew where the cathedral was. And so that was a common kind of a early bond so that we could at least even start talking and communicating. What we can do in the United States is we can point out any kind of shared observation. The beautiful flowers, the coffee today at the coffee shop, an interesting book, or at a local market, what ingredient have you used, or have you used this? It's just kind of a common interest that will give you an opportunity to begin to communicate with others and build a bit of a connection for the day. After saying, of course, good day, nice weather, whatever else you would like to do, like to say. So that is one thing to take away. Look for commonalities instead of just trying to strike up a conversation about something completely unrelated. And the other thing is not to send negative messages about yourself. You know, people walk around with the headphones on and the phone down, head down and looking at the phone. And I was looking around. I was very aware of my environment. I was trying to figure out where this could possibly be. And so we can do that as well. We can look for these commonalities in a busy, suburb. There's always a default mode to just, not want to be bothered, but we need to open ourselves up for those those human connections. So, in our fast, high-paced lifestyle and industrial lifestyle, it's been built for efficiency, and everything's efficiency. And as these design flaws keep us apart, it is something where we've been accidentally engineered almost to be isolated and to stay separate. So we need to start building those human connections with even looking for the commonalities. And then the other thing is don't hesitate to ask for help or to be helpful. If you see someone that's maybe they're not aware of directions, maybe they need directions or whatever else that the help may be there to offer for them. Getting lost in Italy was my way to have to ask for help. I was forced to ask for help, and look what happened. But you can also offer your help. Will these things completely exonerate loneliness? Will they completely build connections where you'll have this huge community of connections around you? No, they won't. They're just beginning, and you need to be patient with yourself, and they're the start of becoming more open, of living more outward. Another thing that I've noticed so much is that we spend so much time inside the house. And if the weather isn't just perfect, or if it's raining a little, or whatever it is, we just stay inside. And that inwardness is what forces us into isolation. Life in Italy is built outward. Everything is outward. Everything revolves around the city square, or the evening walk, or the Sunday lunch, and afterwards people take the walk, or just having to be outside because they live in small apartments. They're kind of forced to be living outward, and we need to maybe force ourselves a little bit about that. Put away the headphones, turn off the phone, look around, be aware, be outside of your home, because if you're outside, you have 100% more greater chance of meeting others, of building connections, and of starting to work your way through what could be an isolating environment than just staying in the house or wearing the headphones. So thank you for stopping by. I have a lot of ideas of what you can do, and we will continue to build on that, and I will continue to build for you in subsequent videos. If you're a subscriber, thank you for being a subscriber. And if you aren't, please do subscribe. Thank you for stopping by, and I will see you next time.